Like this, and we do it like that. Hi, YouTube.
What's up, guys? Marty, teambeige here, and today I'm here at the CaveFairfax. We just had a 3v3 today, and I'm here profiling. Tell what you did and tell us who you are.
Well, today our team name is Dragonic Guardians of the Voices for Hire. We came second place. Unfortunately, our round one, we got completely swept, which is the first place team.
We shook it off and we brought it back to at least second place.
Yep. We had to make sure that after that defeat, shake it off, complete sweep the rest of the tournament, right?
Very nice, very nice. And so we have Javi, Jayson, and Rene. We'll just go down the line. I'll pan to each of you. Tell us what you guys played.
Sounds good. I was player A. I played a very convoluted deck, quite the pile of the format. It was Fur Hire, Horus, Bestial Resonator.
Very interesting. And the man, the legend, what do you play?
Yeah, Jayson from JSTech over here playing the good old Dragon Link like always.
As always.
He came through.
Channel down below, by the way. Go check this brother out.
Hey, how's it going, guys? Today I decided to play the yugioh, the best deck if it wasn't for fire. Voiceless voice, Horus.
Okay, so you got some spice. Well, any shout-outs before we get into it?
Not really, just my teammates. I mean, we just enjoyed ourselves the best tonight, honestly.
It was very fun. Shout out to the Cave for organizing, of course.
Absolutely, shout-outs to the Cave. All right, let's get into it. We're gonna start with Javi here. Let's run it.
All right, let me show you guys this crazy list. All right, so I'm gonna start off with the Fur Hire package. Obviously, we play 3 Fossil Dig to search the best card in our deck, which is Rex Freight for Hire. And then the 2 cards that he searches are Mayhem and Rookie. Rookie specials 1 from the deck that's a level higher or lower than the monster you attributed, and Mayhem's your monster reborn, which is really nice. And then obviously you play the typical 1-ofs in the deck. I do play 1 Philo. This thing was glued to my hand the entire day. Kind of wish it wasn't, but it's also the best extender possible when you do actually see it. So I'm probably going to tweak the deck a little bit more, but this is going to stay in just because there are certain hands where if you do open this and so let's say special the bead or you open any other one, the Donner that brings this back will get summoned off the Philo. So you have it 3 monsters for Falgo. So that's the Fur Hire package.
Very nice.
Next we have the Horus package, 3 Mseti, 1 Duomatef, 1 Happy, and 1 Quasepinef. These are the monsters, this is all you needed. I know some people play the High Deity Horus, but in this case I didn't really need it. It's more of a going second card, it's not really meant for going first. So yeah, I mean, obviously you want to see Mseti, and these are just to help you make your rank 8s to protect your field, plus they're all different types, so Falco really likes that. All the Fur Hires love different types, so that's what the horses were for. I played 1 of the Trap because if you discard it, it's just infinite grind game at that point. 3 of the Field Spell, and 3 of King Sarcophagus. Just want to play as many ways to get to Mseti or King Sark as possible, because once you see that, the rest of your engine is completely free.
Very nice.
The Horus package actually just it was able to play through a lot of hand traps. It was really necessary.
Would you keep it all as is?
Yeah, I'm just going to keep it all as.
Very good.
Next is my small Resonator package of 2 Vision, 2 Crimson Gaia. I love this. I do play the Bestials in this deck. And with Mseti, it's an instant Baron de Fleur to protect you from hand traps. And a cool interaction is, once you'll see in the extra deck, I do play a target for this card's secret second ability. I play Scarlight Red Dragon Archfiend. So against Fire King or Snake Eyes, when they go, I can summon Scarlight, attempt to threaten their board, they'll try to pop it, cool. This will bring back the Scarlight, I will blow up their board and burn them.
Very nice.
So this came up a lot in the grind game. And then for generic disruption / discard fodder, 3 Cashier Fenris, mainly just, I didn't really see much of this today, but I'm still going to keep it in just because it's a free interruption as well as just discard fodder for the King Sarcophagus. For the Bestial package, 1 Baldric, 1 Magnamut, 2 Druisworm, 1 Saronir. Originally we were going to test with Lubellion and a Regained in the deck and probably another Saronir. I played at a locals yesterday. I went undefeated without those cards because I would have had to borrow them from my teammate. So I figured, why not? Since I went undefeated, let me try to at least don't fix what isn't broken, right? So, but I do want to test with those cards in the future. So it was just those as my hand traps. And then for my non-engine, 3 Triple Tactics Talents because I expected a lot of hand traps and interruption. 3 Super Polymerization, and 1 Call by the Grave. I figured if I'm gonna go second, I better have the best going second cards in my deck. Against Fire King, all these cards trigger Super Poly to make Garura, freaking Mud Dragons to protect your field. And against Flu, when you're dealing with an M-Pen and an Avian, you want to Super Poly those away for Garura.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir. So that is the entire main deck, 44 cards. Moving over to the extra deck. For the Fur Hires, 1 Folgo, 2 Donner. Sure, sometimes I want to play the second Folgo only because of Kashira, Unicorn ripping out the extra deck. But to be fair, when they look at my extra deck, they have no idea what the heck to rip. So you'll see. Then 1 IP, 1 SP. This, you go into the combo if you actually have everything, you can just extend into an IP. And then if you had Magnemud or even a Bisteel in hand, the IP will trigger into the SP. So Druid Swarm Send and a Banish is really good. For the Synchros, for the Resonator package, 1 Starlight, 1 XL Synchro Stardust, 1 Baron, 1 Dispater. There is a line of play where if you get Drolled, you can actually OTK your opponent if you open up a Bisteel, a Resonator, a way to get to Rex. If you get Drolled in that aspect, the Extender plus the Rex most of the time will go OTK because it'll trigger the Bisteel. You can summon the Resonator, go into XL Stardust, bring back the Resonator, go into Dispater, and then bring back the what's it called? The Bisteel that got banished off. So you'll have more than enough damage to Droll, which is really nice. That's why I chose not to play the Runic cards, because I actually want to just have my battle phase and kill my opponent instead of just like grinding the game out. For fusions, for the Super Poly, 1 Mud Dragon, 1 Garura. These came up really well. This is just targeting protection for our... You usually call Earth with this just to protect your Rex and your Beat for Hire and Donner from any form of targeting. And then Garura is just nice because with this, if you Super Poly them and you still open the Resonator, especially the Resonator, make XL Stardust, go chain 1, 2, 3, and then bring it back and then draw a card search. So
very nice.
Kind of like if you play Super Heavy Samurai. And then for the 8s, 1 Hope Harbinger. This is mainly for if I go against Branded or Snake Eye, I can just take care of their spells, suck those up. The majority of the time you go into Photon Lore just to protect yourself from hand traps during your turn. And then if you think you can actually just like break through everything, just go Numeron Dragon for the OTK, and that's pretty much it.
Very good. Would you change anything?
Probably not. I really like how this works. And if I add in the Lubellion, the Dispater will actually come up a lot more. I rarely summoned it, but it does come in.
Nice.
And then for the side deck, nothing too special. I figured we were going to see a lot of Snake Eye, or at least cards that Link summon. So 3 Phantasme, please, I'm sorry. I'm waiting for Rarity Collection to upgrade these. 1 Wiz for Time, but I never went into Time. Our games went by so fast, so I'm also honestly probably going to cut this card for something better. 1 Lightning Storm, 2 Dark Ruler as kind of like a board wipes to a degree. I wasn't really sure what to put in my side deck for the sake of like going second and whatnot. Maybe I'll go to playing hand traps or whatnot, but I played 2 Mind Control, 1 Change of Heart, 1 Snatch Steal. This is mainly just so I'd rather them build a board and me take the resources, and that forces their interruptions by just using these cards, and the rest of your engines should kill them. For back row, the Duster. And then for when you're siding going first, just 3 summon limit. Once you get the majority of your combo off, if you get any form of Fur Hire, or even if it's just like a Fenrir and some Horus monsters, this just backs you up so fast.
Very nice.
And that's everything for me.
Well, thanks, Javi. All right.
Thank you, Javi. Jayson here. Dragon Link, of course. 3 Lubellion. You know how to bling out the best card in the deck. My boy Lubellion.
Yeah, QCR Rebellion always resolves.
Bisteel package, of course. 3 Serenir. You have to play this. It is important to get a Lubellion in circulation because, I mean, even if you set up a board and try to break it or whatnot, if you can set up the regain loop, you are good to kill next turn. So 3 Serenir, 1 Magnemud, set 1, of course, 2 Druid Swarm, because it's very good into a board, especially if you get to banish the IP Masquerena from Fire Snake Eye. Going into a board with this, they automatically have to like address it before you start playing, so it's good. 1 Baldrake, just because I wanted to have different names to chain to start playing, of course.
Really good against Princess.
And it's good against Princess, yeah. Rocket package, 2 Tracer, Recharger. I still play Caliber just because it increases the ceiling of my deck whenever I open this and I don't have a target for this. It feels really sucky because then like I'm out of resources. I cannot like get the extra body or whatnot. Plus turn 2, of course, if you already made your Savage and everything, if you bring this back with Borderland and you pair it up with Druid Swarm, This is Marty's favorite combo, actually.
Yeah, it's the Dragon Link technology, super advanced.
Yeah, of course. When they're trying to break your board, they think since a lot of us are not on branded beasts no more, you just Tracer, target Druidswarm, summon Caliber, and then Druidswarm sends something for free.
Crazy.
Absolrator, of course, to go with it. Now, we need consistency as much as we can. So, of course, 3 Seyfert is great if you can get Lubellion into the grave as well, because this brings it back. Chaos package is actually only Wyvern Buster and Black Collapse Serpent. I love Levianeer as much as the other guys do, but I could not afford to open it going second, especially if I already open like a hand trap or 2 and I have it just dead in my hand against fire, I'm gonna lose. So I decided not to play Levianeer. Please don't kill me. I saw a lot of hand traps, and if I had opened Levianeer, I would have been cooked. Don't kill me in the comments, please. Chaos space is limited, so black metal package is necessary. You don't need Red Eyes Meteor. You already have too many cards in your deck you do not want to draw. You do not want to draw Driver. It's not worth it. Don't do it. For non-engine and hand traps, I went a little bit less than usual because I didn't want to just open hand traps and black metal. That'll get me nowhere. So I went with 11. That is 3 Ash. Feel free to count the QCRs in the comments. 3 Veilers. 2 Nibs only. This card was very bad today. I think I'll probably take it out. I'll test out Levianeer again, maybe instead of this. I think I'm just gonna stick to those.
Oh, more Bestials.
More Bestials, yeah. And 3 Emperor as well to go with that. This card was very good, and these 2 do their job against Snake Eye Ash.
Very nice. How many in the main?
43, magic number for Dragon Link.
Okay, okay.
Put Sector Launch. I didn't open it a single time today, which is great. That's why you go to 43. Dragon Ravine is not too bad to open, but I mean, of course, I mean, if you draw it, you draw it. Regain. 1 of Chaos Space. 3 Quick Launch. Standard. 43. Card number 43 is Foolish Burial. I wanted this over Levianeer because if I can, I wanted to get Lubellion into rotation. So if I open, if I open Serenir, or if I open Seyfert, whichever of them 2, they do their part, they get each other to whatever it is to grave, and then if I open Serenir and I link it off, and then I Foolish Burial for Seyfert, Serenir sends Lubellion to grave, and then Seyfert just vanishes itself, gives this back to my hand, and then I have a live Lubellion that I can use. And since this is banished throughout the combo, you bring it back with Pisty, and then you haven't used the effect to search, so you get another 2 extra bodies for that. So Foolish Burial for any of these 2, if you open like the right combination of hands, will get you like at least 2 bodies.
Very good.
Extra deck, very standard, nothing crazy. Striker Dragon, Pisty, Romulus, 2 Spheres. I'm already OTKing without access code. I did not need access code because if I summon this on board, it's pretty much game over. So I decided to cut access code, play the 2nd Spheres. Dark, SP Little Knight, Arrows. You use the arrows to make Borderland.
It does piercing.
Yeah.
And it's 3 negates.
Yeah, it's a negate through battle phase. So if you ever run into Sky Striker, you can negate the ray affecting grave if you haven't
You
banished.
can negate the Flamberge if you run over it.
You can negate the Flamers, yeah. Synchros. Scarlet. I won in time today because of this. My opponent had Ash, but I had the Saki Callby in the side to stop the Ash from summoning the non-tuner and making this, of course. Borderlo Savage. This is not QCR. This is Starlight. Don't get it mixed up.
Okay.
This batter.
I'm poor. I have QC.
Chaos Angel, Baron. With all the Bestials, it's 7 Bestials in the main, plus the 3 Lubellion. This comes up, especially if you can make it after they got rid of like your normal summon or something. It'll come up. I wanted to play Typhon, but I did not have the space. Side deck is the 3rd Nib. It always went in against Snake Eye. Going second, of course, I just didn't want to like brick on it going first. 2 Pank for back row and other mid-range decks that I can afford to break the board. 3 Phantasme. this is probably the best deck to play Phantasma in. It gives you protection against Princess, against every other stuff, and it's a body on board, and it's Lubellion food as well, because it's a level 7 Dark Dragon that you can just tribute and summon Lubellion if you have this on board, and digs into other hand traps, of course. 3 roll, because roll is roll. I wanted to avoid any sort of like funky FTK or whatnot. 2 talents and callby for going first. I didn't play any floodgates today. I feel like just if I could resolve my engine, back it up with hand traps, and the regain Magnum of Loop, I should be able to be alright. It's also hard OTKing you when you have Borderland and you have Druid Swarm in hand as well. And then lastly, just 3 Cyclones for the Runic players like Javi, or Labyrinth players, and any other funky matchup that I needed to get like rid of something.
Very good. Any last thoughts on your list?
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to main Nib anymore. I think I'll probably cut back on it, maybe try a smaller like 42 or 41 list, play without Levianeer. The deck is really only playable because of the Bestials, so if you can open like an Ash, a Veiler, an Imprint plus a Bestial in this format, I think you should be alright playing into boards, because like banishing Linkuribo, banishing IP from graveyard does a lot, because this deck doesn't really lose to like the bodies that Snake Eye summons, because they cannot out this without Subversion, which is not standard, or if they play Typhon. But if you can stop the SP into the banish of the normal summon, because we don't have Chaos Space, you're in a good position. Awesome. So maybe I'll try cutting out Nibs. I'll see what's up, and if anything, I'll report back to Marty and let you guys know.
Yeah, or check out his channel.
Thank you.
Alright, and now we're here with Rene. Had to swap the setup a bit, but let's get into it, my dude.
Alright, awesome. Well, first of all, shout out to Javi, Jayson. Always pleasure working with them, playing around. Love you too, bud. Love you too. So today I kind of want to present Voiceless Horus. I've been labbing this deck for a couple months. I went through the progressions of basically the original builds, which were pre-preps, all the pots that you would think of. And the one thing that I always noticed was that 2 faults come into this deck. The first one is pre-prep and the pots telegraph really hard your issues, which is that you need resources, but those resources can get stopped. And the second one is that as much as I love the big body that comes with the ritual, it does not have a lot of gas afterwards. So this build basically tries to take over and fix those areas, plus avoiding the extra deck, which kind of has a nice benefit against a couple of decks that really rely on you to go into the extra deck. So with that being said, I'll show the wishes package. 3 lows, 2 Sephiroths, 1 Grandpa, double Skull, and Soravis. And for spells, we have the complete package pretty much. Basically the barriers, the prayers, and the radiance. I think at this ratio, you're pretty much playing solid. You have enough gas where you can recycle. Plus, you're pretty much playing your routine when you go to the grind wars. I had 2 Voiceless Boys mirror matches, and I felt like if you just know how to resource yourself and slow down the pace, you can pretty much outpace any of their Voiceless Boys mirror matches. Then I do still play the Diviner package. I think this is, out of all the 3 packages, the pots, the pre-preps, and the Diviner, this is the one that's still worth playing around. Mostly because it's a good baiter if you believe that you have another way around and getting all your combos. And then most people are pretty much teched in to believing that if you see this, you don't have the low and you need ashes or impermanence. And most of the time, if you open low and this, you really don't. So this is a great like hand trap catcher. Plus, this is MVP half of the time. It being able to avoid Emperor by tributing your fairy, which could be low, could be the Diviner, plus also being level 11, being enough stars for a ritual. This card honestly comes in very clutch. Even if you open it, I don't believe this is a brick. This is pretty much one of the most powerful under tech cards in there. So for that reason, I kind of like this Diviner package. For the next package, the Horus, 3 Umseti, 1 Primitive, 1 Happy, plus your 2 Kingstark. The ratio plays with the effect that you can go into rank 8s, plus also having the ability to bait out any ashes. I feel like in between Low and Mseti, your opponent's gonna get punished one way or the other. If you believe Low is the strongest build, if you want to grind out, Mseti catches all the ashes, all the hand traps you need, or vice versa. If you believe you gotta just kill them this turn, the Low catches everything else, and then you just go through Mseti. The name of the game is pretty much choose which target you want the ash to catch. Most of your opponents will probably check on it the first thing they see. Plus, this all being like big chunguses just kills on board, which is the other issue that the deck has. Just not being fast enough to kill. So this, if you go second and you're capable of building this, you got it. Then for hand traps, triple ash, triple effect veiler, the rock, imperm. Overall, I think this is just what the standard is for right now in the meta. Ashes, effect veilers, and imperms. I go back and forth between the rock and super poly. The one benefit right now is that this kind of does clean up against fire. Plus the fact that this is 11-11. If you have to hard make a ritual, this covers you. So like it's not necessarily much of an issue if you have it on hand and you're going first and you open it. Sometimes you have to do it. You got to do it. But I would say moving forward though, I kind of like super poly. And I'll explain that once we get into the extra deck why I like it. But overall, I think just like there's a lot of decks coming up in the format that are monotype in either attribute or in type. Plus, fire decks just gets cleaned out without being the quote-unquote word destruction. And in mirror matches, super poly just doesn't target. So a smart voices player will probably be playing under. If not, they won't even be playing under the rock unless they're getting greedy. So moving forward, I think I'll go for super poly.
Very nice.
And then last two cards, Triple T, call by. One-ups, I know. Don't hate me on it, but I think the call by, it's worth it. It's like if you open it, it stops Ash, your worst enemy. Then Triple T is a card that you can just use to look at your opponent's hand. If you have the perfect read, you know where you want to go into. So, and I think this deck has enough cards that can bait out any hand traps, really, to activate Triple T at this point.
Very good. How many cards in main?
42.
Very nice.
All right. So, to the extra deck. Starting with the links. One Linko, one Relinquish, one Dynamondo, and double SP Euro Rares. So going from this way up, Linko, it just serves the purposes to link off low and get your SP live. Relinquish, surprisingly enough, I guess with a lot of the meta, with a lot of fire just building a lot of their boards, they will eventually have to play both the EDM columns. So this just captures what you need to get rid of. Plus, it's also another SP capture. Dynamondo, it's controversial. I would say if I could cut it, I would. But the fact that you can push hard if you have the perfect information to go Radiance as well on your opponent's turn and just have Saravis to threaten anything on their board is just so nice. But it's one of those cards where you can get very hard punished if you don't have the correct read. You go into Dynamondo, so I would say be careful. I would save this as a last resort. And then SP is SP. I think this is one of the most powerful cards. I mean, the deck can make it. Why not play it? Honestly, I wouldn't change this ratio so much, and I enjoy it. To the Xyz. So I play Ningirsu, Vamp, and Typhon. So the other ratio or the other reasoning for Horus, you can make zombie vampire. So by making this, you mill 4. If you find low, if you find diviner, that's starting gas. Plus, if you want, you can also find yourself dumping up players or just more Horus cards that you probably want to build eventually. It's such a good card. Your opponent can't target it. So eventually, you could probably get into a Typhon position. I think the most underrated card, and the one reason I also like playing Horus, is the yugioh. Going second, of course, you have the non-targeting send, but what I primarily aim for if I build a board, it is a protection. Most players will probably get the read that they will not be able to target the front row of monsters, but then they will start trying to focus on your back row, which will be your Radiance. You play one Radiance. I think if you take away the Radiance from Voices role players, it's really hard to come back from it. So this is my way to play around that issue, protect my board. It makes it really hard to break that way. And then Typhon is Typhon. I think it's probably much one of those cards that you want to play for the heck of it if you can. Branded can't play because again, a lot of the cards are over 3,000. Fire also has 3,000. Anything that's above 3,000. So I think this is a good hold down forwarding card. I will definitely play it. Don't want to change that. Then for the Super Poly package, one of each. Garura, Muddy, and Yugioh. This one only comes up when it comes to branded. However, I think it's worth playing either way because I feel like a lot of people are still playing branded enough where it's respectable. And it does punish your opponent either way. And the Viner package, I think this is standard. One Unts, one Herald. It'll get you your rituals and it'll just pop a field if you need to, especially with a lot of floodgates on the field. This is just a nice way to get around it. And then my two synchros. Horus is an 8, Diviner is a 2. Why not play 10s? Again, the 8, I really can't say anything much. Chaos Angel is kind of fun. The fact that if you stack this with Chungus Skull Guardian, your opponent can run over one, can't get to the other, and if the Diviner and Mset get together, it just becomes a really hard board to break with this included. So if you have the chance, I would play it.
Nice.
And then just the side, starting with the 3-0s. Summer Limit, Evenly, and Super Poly. I would say this is the most powerful side deck card this deck plays. Once you build your board, so many decks plays more than 2 turns or 2 summons. I really would say it punishes the opponent and it kind of shuts down most game. At this point, once they pass it back, Saphira doesn't summon, so you'll get your second Chungus on board. You'll get your low back. I think the fact that this deck can play with summon limit, it's so good. Evenly, breaks board came up a lot. I would say in the mirror match it's even worse because since you can't preserve everything, this will definitely get rid of the radiuses. This will definitely get rid of the non-targeting issues, and it's really hard for your opponent to really choose what to stick. With fire, same thing. You get rid of everything. It's banished. And for the Super Volley, again, it's a one card that I would say I was iffy on, and I think for moving on forward, I think I would just play it in the main. It's too good, breaks boards. Too many things are mono attribute or type for it to be not considered in this format. And then, last but not least, my 2-0s. 2 Cyclones, 2 Phantasmus, Drolls. I respect the birds, the flues, their pain. A lot of other deck searches, I think this is the best net catcher when it comes to other rogue type of decks. A lot of decks fall under it. Even Voiceless Voice does. Phantasmus for fire, and then Cyclones just to respect Floodgates or any shenanigans coming from Labyrinth or any other like backrow decks.
Nice. Would you maybe swap the nibs for the Super Polys?
I would. Yeah, for sure. Moving forward, that's what I would try to do.
Very cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, boys. Any final shout-outs? Anything y'all want to say before we wrap it up?
For his first 3v3, I think he did a pretty good job.
Yeah.
You went all right, and now thanks Marty, of course, for recording the video. Shout out, teambeige for collaborating with me in this deck profile. Shout out again to the Cave for hosting it.
Yippee! Mo.
And shout out to Marty, the most important.
I don't know.
No, he works so hard. He makes these videos. Where will we be without him?
haven't
Just
uploaded in a
remember
month.
that on April 13th at 2 p.m. is the Cave's $500 cash prize tournament Saturday. Try not to miss it. It's going to be a really good time.
Yeah, it'll be streaming on the Cave's Twitch. Will be linked down below. If y'all want to see some of the feature matches, you can go check out the VOD. And who knows, maybe you see some of these boys around then too. So, I'm Marty, and I'll see y'all later. Peace!